looks like pretty much everything in this is the same. We did ask for $3,000 pay raises. I know the jail taxes, or the public safety tax is coming, but we went ahead and put these in here just in case. So $3,000 pay raises for everybody. Gas, diesel, and oil. I think we may have increased that from last year just because the price of everything is going up. So $70,000 for that. Sheriff cars, I think that used to be in lit. That's been taken over to the sheriff budget. Another $70,000. That gets us 2 trucks. That would also get us 2 Explorers. The price of everything's just skyrocketed. So $70,000 just buys the vehicles. It doesn't buy the equipment. We usually pay for that out of other funds that we have, commissary and some other stuff. So that just gets us the vehicles. Overtime, we're doing pretty good in overtime this year. So $45,000 should take care of us, just because we do have, as soon as Connor Greenwell gets back from the academy, we will be full staffed, and overtime's going to be few and far between. Just training, different things like that may be a reason for overtime.
Can you go down a little bit on this one, guys? Okay, right. Whoop, whoop. You're fine.
You had an SRO deputy last year. You don't have one this year?
That gets paid out of a grant.
Okay.
So Jane works her magic on that one.
It is a separate, it's funded separately. They submitted two different budgets, so the 2 SRO officers are going to be paid from a grant fund.
The last year we paid for it.
No.
We had it in the budget, but it didn't get expended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them is fully paid by the grant and the high school, the school corporation. They reimburse for Deputy Aaron McQueen. He's the SRO out there full time. They reimburse for his salary, I believe. That's how it works. That was set up by Joey when he was sheriff. But I know it's partially grant funded and partially school funded. And then we get him during the summer. He covered several road shifts this summer to help with our overtime issues.
You're had the extra duty, Zach, this year of the schools to have officers there occasionally, at least a car here and there, whatever. Has that added to your budget?
No. No, we've been working in the schools for 20-some years. The school pays for us to be there. The only thing that is added is the vehicles that we drive. Basically, you drive it to the school, you park it, and then when you leave, you drive back to work. The only one that the school takes care of, the commissioners gave the permission for the school corporation to have one of our old vehicles, and that's what Billy Wason, retired sheriff, he's the SRO for the school. They pay for him. They maintain that vehicle. They put the gas in that vehicle because he is driving to and from Fayette Central and Everton every day. So they're paying for that vehicle to maintain it. We just provide
So you take care of the county schools too, that's good.
Yeah. Yep. And we're working on the elementary schools. We got some coverage there, but again, that's paid for by the schools, and that's split between us and the city police.
Well, I hope they never get active, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, I think it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. The schools really ponied up some money to help out now. We think they should pony up a little bit more money, but we could have had a full-time officer at the grade schools. They didn't want to pony up enough money, so they get part-time help right now. But the high school and the middle school are completely covered every day the kids are in school. But again, that's not paid by the county, that's paid by the school corporation.
I hate to sound stupid, but I do. What's the longevity?
Longevity, we set that up years ago. A lot of departments do it. We sort of copied off the city police. Every year of service, you get $175. So Chad, 10 years service? So that extra money goes towards his salary. It's
Okay.
just a little added benefit for guys that stay. And then it sort of hovers around that $25,000 area because recently we had Bobby and Billy and all those guys retired who were making a lot in longevity, and now we got Connor and some of the newer guys that don't make any in longevity. It just gives you that added bonus to stay on the department.
We've got some good deputies. We only see them on Sunday nights, but they're very courtesy and very nice, so.
Thank you. Any other questions about the sheriff's budget?
It's pretty consistent from what you had.
Yeah. Yeah, again, the only thing is the pay raise, the $3,000 pay
Right,
raise.
right.
But
And
you-
on that, it's, again, hopefully we'll be able to get some money out of the public safety tax, but it's my hope that we sort of model what the county gets off of what the city gets, because if the city police end up getting $8,000 raises and the county guys only get 3 or 4, we're gonna start being a training ground again where we're gonna have guys leave to go over there because they got three openings right now. And we don't want that to happen again. We worked hard to keep our guys, and we're stealing guys from the city police basically. We've got to keep it consistent. The pay, they make a couple thousand more than us, but our schedule and retirement is what helps out with that. But if they start making $7,000, $8,000 more than us, we're going to start losing guys again. And I don't want that. So hopefully we can sort of maintain that with the public safety tax. We're going to go through now.
When your request for, on the public safety was quite a bit more than that, was you putting this on top of it, or was this?
This is on top of the public safety tax. I mean, if, it's ultimately up to you guys.
I mean, but if you could get what you wanted, this was gonna be on top of that?
Yes. Yeah. Again, that's to keep us consistent with the
I mean,
city.
you were asking
And I-
6.
We haven't really asked for anything on the public safety tax. We've just had some conversations with some different people, and it's always
Where did
between
I get
five,
that?
it's always between 5 and 8.
Where did I get the $6,000 number?
I think that's just in conversation. It's
Okay.
just sort of this is what we're hoping for, and then ultimately it's up to you guys. But again, I just want to stay consistent with the salaries of the city police.
And they are now, how much more?
Right now, I think they, starting out, after 1 year, that's what, there's jumps up after 1 year, but it's close to $3,000, $4,000 more than what we make.
With this,
No.
or not with?
No,
Okay.
without this.
This was gonna bring you pretty close
Hey,
to
check
them?
to see if he knows the secret handshake.
I think after a year, they're around 50, 51, something like that, maybe. I'm
Plus,
not-
they get their incentives for being an instructor, being toxicology,
Yeah, they get
being a sergeant or being a captain. They get all that on top of that. So
Yeah, their contract, and little pay raises, they've been getting that stuff, and, yeah, they get a lot of different bonuses. But again, our place is the place to be, and we want to keep it that way. A lot of guys like working over here. Schedule retirement's good, but you can't make up for $7,000, $8,000. And we lost a lot of good officers to the city police, and we don't want to start that again.
So you're somewhat comfortable with 3 more here roughly was gonna?
Yeah,
protect you?
ultimately, if we can get the 3,000, and again, if we can get the 3,000 out of this, and another 5 or 6 out of the public safety tax, that would put us sitting pretty good. I think that would keep us from having guys, our guys could go to the state police right now and make $75,000, but they don't want to do that. But to jump over to the city police, go to Rushville, go to Franklin County, you can make a little bit more money. So if we can keep it to where we're on par, and we worked hard to get that, if we can keep it to where we're close to those other departments, I don't want to lose guys, because like he said, we got a good group of deputies. Really, I mean, you see in the paper, we're busting car thieves, we're doing drug busts. We got a good group of guys right now that are really out doing a lot of good, and if we can keep them here, that's best case scenario.
I don't see on here, Zach, are you having to pay for medical facility, people who come in the jail and check?
Yeah, that's, if you want to move to the sheriff, or the jail budget, we can do that. That's where that's at. I
Well,
believe.
that's in another section.
Or maybe that's
Okay.
under,
Page 49.
Okay,
that's under lit.
okay, okay.
If you want to move there, we can. It's up to you.
Let's go to lit, if y'all don't mind.
That's fine.
And we were notified by them that I think it was them and our food service providers, it was going to be around between 4 and 5% increases. You go to the grocery store, you know why. If you go to the hospital, you know why. Everything's going up.
Hospital charges too much.
Amen.
Well, the old charges.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, my son just shot a nail through his hand. I can't wait to get that bill. Yeah.
Reed ain't happy with me right now, but I don't care.
You're asking for another $115,000 for medical services.
Well, they're on pace to do over 300 this year.
Yeah. And like I explained, for the additional, we got one guy that's getting a shot that is $9,000.
$79,000?
$9,000. One shot, $9,000. And that's because when they come to jail, if they're on that medication, we have to continue it.
Is that for the schizophrenia?
No, that's for something else.
Okay.
But $9,000 for one inmate every month, I think, or every 3 months. That adds up. And there's some people we just can't let out of jail, because when we do, they might go out and stab somebody or something like that. So,
Surely not.
yeah. So there's some people you just can't let out, and you have to pay it. And diabetics, we have a lot of diabetics over there, and that's expensive. This medical company, they fight pretty hard to keep the bills down. They do a lot of negotiations with Reed and other hospitals to make sure we're getting that Medicaid rate plus 4%. But everything's expensive.
Is that shot for Crohn's?
I think it was hepatitis.
Yeah, the hepatitis.
I think
My
it's
boy was getting Crohn's shots for a while, and he was up there.
expensive. Yeah.
Your meals for prisoners are down quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on pace to do 258,000 this year, but why the drop?
Can you go to another company?
We split. That's what it was. I think the middle of last year, we switched companies. We went from Tiger to Canteen, and they also started giving us a discount because I also switched my commissary. We're losing a little bit of money in commissary, but we're getting a nickel a meal. And when you're serving hundreds of thousands of meals a year, that adds up. So we switched that, and we're hoping our inmate population keeps going down. Right now it's a little high, but we were hovering around about 110, and that really makes a difference. That's 60 meals a day that you're not feeding. So if we can get that population back down again, that's really going to help that.
You do anything for the state anymore? I think it was taken away, was it? We lost it, or
DOC, state DOC?
DOC.
Oh yeah, we make tons of money off that.
we still got it?
Yeah, we still got that. I don't remember what the jail report said last year, but we're usually bringing in between $200,000 and $400,000 from DOC for level 6 and DOC inmates.
Can you take more in?
We could if we had more room.
Well, think you will have more room with the
It-
new thing?
I know when they got rid of, they sent level sixes back to us, they cleared out the prisons a little bit, so now they're starting to take them again. So if they get overcrowded, they'll be housing them with us. Right now, we try to get rid of them as soon as possible, but, I mean, we could always just say, hey, we got room, let's keep them, because there's a lot of counties that do that. They'll take parole, because you get paid for them, they'll take those guys, and if you got room, you can house them. And once the female center opens up, we should have a little bit of room.
How many will they be taking over there from your facility, women?
We got 32 or 33 right now. Yeah, 32 females that will be moved out of our jail and placed over there, so.
Are you gonna need additional funding from that to police that area over there, Zach?
No, with the lit, we asked for the 10 new officers, it's $390,000 if we get the $3,000 pay raise. They'll take care of them, that'll be 2 females all the time over there. Everybody says, well, we're gonna need more masks, we're gonna need more uniforms. Well, we still got them, we're just gonna move them from one place to the other.
Yeah.
So, we should be okay. It's not like we're adding 30 new inmates, we're just
Are they
moving
getting,
them,
are they getting the
basically.
communication system hooked up with you?
We got good radios. The company's supposed to be coming down next week to upgrade our current jail, and then they'll upgrade the new place. I'm still not very optimistic about this August 30th date, but like I told
Talked about it last year.
yeah, like I told you guys as soon as they open it, we'll figure it out. We started hiring staff already. We've got most of them hired. We're still short 2 or 3, I think. But as soon as they open it up, we plan on putting people over there because
You've got a lot on your plate.
it's gonna help us out a lot. Getting those females out of our jail and opening up some space.
You already told us August of next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm more optimistic of that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
It's coming along, I guess. What else? Spillman maintenance, the computer system we use, that goes up a few percent every year, so. Yeah, that's about it. I know we took. I know we took the John Clark model. Got yelled at about that a couple years ago. But John Clark, he said to take out $50,000 every year, and I think we took out institutional supplies and put that in the jail budget that we'll go over here shortly. But taking $50,000 out, that way this goes back into we sort of get used to it, I guess.
Ease our way out
Yeah.
of the jail lit.
Yeah. And I didn't know, I don't think we did it last year or the year before, and that's why I think I got yelled at by John Clark. But I had discussed with our secretary maybe taking out $100,000 just because we didn't do it last year, I don't think.
Yeah, you did.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you did.
All right. But I want to keep on that model that he came up with because it was a pretty smart way to deal with things. Any other questions about lit? And I still think we're bringing in more than we were expecting, aren't we, Jane, on lit? We're still, I think at one time we were saying 800,000, and I think we're bringing in more, so hopefully we got some
Yeah,
extra money in there.
Where does that money go?
the jail lit, it just stays in that fund.
So what can it can't be used?
No, we're using, like, the extra just stays in there and accumulates. So like, when he's referring to the John Clark plan, that was part of what we were counting on, like, former councils purposefully left about a couple $100,000 each year and didn't budget it to leave it so that fund would build up, and then gradually, as we use it and take it, start taking it back down to county jail, we'll cut into that.
Because eventually it'll go away.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
jail lit will go away and we
Because
still
it's got
have
a
to pay.
22, it
things
expires in
in place.
22 years,
Right.
so.
Now, the money that is made by housing inmates, where
Oh,
does
I'm
that
sorry,
money?
that goes into county general,
Okay, it just goes right into the county.
yeah.
And we still budgeted, we still budgeted for 10 officers. Now, negotiations with community corrections, I think we've got them to pay for 3. They're recommending that whatever money they make, they put back into the county to pay for these officers. I'm trying to say, just pay for 3 of them. I don't care what you make over there. You just pay for the 3. That's for the commissioners and community corrections to work out. But we still budgeted for 10 just in case. But hopefully they're going to pick up at least 3 of the employees. They're going to be my employees, but they're just going to reimburse the county out of fees that they make on female work release. And I think we've already got 3 or 4 females ready to move in over there. They're just sitting in our female block right now waiting. So they'll fill it up pretty quick.
How many can it house?
It's changed so many times. I think the female part, the work release part, can hold 18 to 20. I think, and then the jail part can hold, is it 38 or 42, something like that. It's
That
changed.
was-
It's changed so many times. It's
In
hard
that
to figure out.
facility?
And then the new place, yeah. So like I said, it's changed a lot, but it'll house all of our females, and we'll be able to hopefully fill it up with work release.
So it's only gonna be female though, right?
At this time, yes. Now, I talked about them saying it's the female work release detention center, just in case our female population goes down to 8. Well, what's the point of having 8 females over there in a 40-bed facility when I can put them back in our jail, and then we'll just move some people around. But yeah, right now, the female population just keeps going skyrocketing. So right now, it's all females over there. So all our female guards will be working over there also. That's the plan. Any other questions on the lit? We'll go back to the biggie, the jail.
God,
17, 10.
17.
On the jail, we've asked for $3,000 raises again, also in hopes that we're still going to get a decent raise from the public safety tax. It's harder and harder to find jail officers. Our turnover rate is ridiculous, but I think that's with everybody. I talked to the sheriff of Wayne County, the same thing's happening up there. It's just hard to find people to do these jobs. And I don't know if throwing money at it fixes it. I don't think it does. It's just people don't want to do these jobs anymore. The state police, they threw a lot of money at trying to retain state troopers, and it's not working. I think they just graduated a class of 9.
We did lose a jail officer this month. Her last day is 2 days from now, and it was paid. It was based off of pay. She's gonna make $8,000 more somewhere else
In the same position.
at the same position.
Well, it's just something different.
It is the same position. I know.
Commissioner Strong.
Just $8,000 more, and she can't pass it up.
Well, I know. That's
Yeah. Especially to go from an easy job. I tell people all the time that a jail job it's not hard labor, but it's stressful. I mean, it's one of the toughest jobs a person can do just because it's nonstop stress. Not many jobs do you get feces thrown on you or spit on or cussed out every day. I mean, you're walking into a block with 30 felons that are there for a reason. And it's a tough job, and it's hard to keep people. I mean, we got some good ones, we really do, but it's hard to keep them there. So
In terms of officers, we're a little under the average for this area. We're not a ton
That's
under
not
the
awful.
average, but
it's not awful. Rush County, they make starting jail officers mid-40s. I mean, they're doing okay. Wayne County obviously makes more, but I tell people all the time, yeah, Rush County and Franklin County, they start out at, I don't know, 45, 46,000, I think.
Rush, Rush 46.
Yeah, they deal with about 40 inmates.
Mhm.
I mean, we got 130.
Mhm.
We've always been that way. You could put Union, Rush, and Franklin County, and we'd still have more inmates than all those 3 combined. I mean, it's the Fayette County way. Throw them in jail, and we got plenty of them. But yeah, the pay, we're getting closer to those other counties, but when you're dealing with that many inmates, I don't know why anybody stays here and doesn't go to Rushville or Brookville and work, because they deal with a lot fewer inmates.
When you said it's a Fayette County way, what do they do different that we don't?
I think it's poverty and drug use in Fayette County. I don't think Rush County has,
Pretty
Quality
heavy
of
in Rush
inmates.
County.
and that's also, yeah, I don't think Rush County has, I don't know, I just don't think they have that poverty and that generational drug abuse that we're dealing with here in Fayette County.
They've got millionaire farmers over there paying high taxes.
That doesn't hurt. Yeah, that doesn't hurt. We got some pretty
I'm
good
just
farmers
curious, I
here
was
too.
just wondering.
The crime rate's
you know.
far different for Rush County. We have a dispatcher works here, and she works over there. She works 2 jobs, and she says her call volume. She'll work her work week over there, and not dispatch any officers versus what they dispatch a month. We do in a day over here. She said, and that's coming from her who works it and dispatches it. She said that the call volume over here is 10 times what they have over there.
Our police department and sheriff's deputies, they're busy.
Oh, yeah.
They stay busy. There's times where you'll see them sitting around, but most of the time
Not
they
much.
stay active.
Yeah.
If you want to be a police officer and do some work, Fayette County's the place to come.
Zach, you said that you've got a facility over there for 45 women, and you won't have that many right now to put over there. Would there come a time when some other counties be sending their women over here?
They could. We hold a lot for Union County. They'll call us all the time because they got their jail's about this big in this room, so they'll call us all the time and want us to hold people. And we normally do it. We just do it because
Do you receive financing from?
we do not. Normally it's just, hey, will you hold this person that we can't handle them, and then they'll come over here and we'll hold them. And then sometimes we'll call them and say, hey, this person has told on a few people and we can't house them here. Can you hold them? So we just sort of switch. But we never have charged other counties that I can remember to house inmates. DOC, yes. Parole, yes, we charge them because that's a job.
What's the jail officer start at?
36,000 right now. And again, go to Rush County, Franklin County, and make $10,000 more and do less work. Hopefully none of them are watching. I don't want to get the idea, but
We'll sell the tapes.
yeah. Yeah, but it's a good jail to start in. Like I said earlier, a lot of guys go to college and get criminal justice degrees. You just go to the jail and we're in our jail. I mean, I'd say 60% of the city police came from our jail, and almost all but 1 or 2 came from the jail and on the road over at the sheriff's department. So it's a good place to get your foot in the door.
So there's a $10,000 pay difference just to go there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's after the council, we really did a lot to get that pay bump from 24,000 to 36,000 over about a 6-year span, and added some jail officers. I mean, you guys the council then did a lot of work to help us out, and it's just, you give them big pay raises and then you stop giving pay raises, and then we fall behind. And then you got to do something. You got to come up with another public safety tax to give big pay raises again. If it could just be consistent, and I know funds are limited, but that would really help.
Zach, you gotta think about the taxpayers too. People in Fayette County's not making much money.
Oh yeah, I know. And that's why I think the public safety tax was a decent idea to help. I'd like to see. I think people could go through their budgets. That's how we got pay raises when Billy Wason was sheriff. Me and him went through the budget. Every single thing that we really didn't need, we took out. That's why training on here is $100. It used to be a few thousand. There's a lot of things that we just said, we're not using this. It's just something that we transfer at the end of the year to pay for something else. And we cut it all out. I wish other departments would do that and see how much money we could save, but a lot of people already cut it, so.
A few years back, it was a lot cut.
Yeah, there's 10%, I remember they told us we had to cut out of our budget, and that was a couple years after we cut everything already, and I thought, how in the world are we gonna do that?
Well, there's been complaints, the fact that Reed don't pay taxes, but they're gonna be employing people that do pay taxes, and that's gonna be a big help to us
Oh, yeah.
too.
But in my opinion, they overcharge.
Oh, come on, Jim.
They do. If I got any complaints, ask them. I think it's pretty good.
Okay,
Any other questions?
no,
Comments?
you're just wanting 399,000, right?
That's it. Put a million in front of that, just about.
Okay.
The jail, it's always the guy sitting behind me, he knows, it's a money pit.
It's a
I mean,
money
It's
pit.
just a
Necessary
big,
evil.
it's something that you have to have, and unfortunately, we have a lot of inmates. If we can get our population down, and that's why we started this reentry program. Before the drug bust, it was working wonders because we had a lot of people out of here. We're down to almost in the below 100 at one time, but
And the amazing thing, Zach, we get to see him on Sunday nights. 19 years old, second arrest, 21, been in 4. I said, boys, it's time to stop and think a little bit.
oh yeah, yep, I get it. And again, I'd just like to, I know the public safety taxes, I don't know when you guys are gonna deal with that, but again, it's my hope that whatever the city is, or the mayor decides that the city should get, hopefully we're close to that, because again, if they get $8,000 or $9,000 and we only get 3 or 4, I'm gonna start losing guys, and I really don't wanna lose any of our guys. We got a good group, so, and we'll deal with that when it comes.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
any questions?
No.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the job you do, Zach. Appreciate it.
You too, Chad.
You got a minute, Jim?
Me?
Until the next one? You got
Yeah,
a few seconds to talk.
yeah, we got about 6 minutes for the next
got a
one
minute.
comes in.
My time's valuable. I just got here, I gotta make up.
Oh,
Well, you
Lord.
guys gonna double team me, huh?
Wait till you get good handcuffs and shackles and taser, right?
I'm packing, so.
That's about big West over
It's
here.
about that fine you forgot to pay, Jim.
What you laughing about? What we going to discuss? Probation department.
We don't need $500,000.
Hi.
Brought my bodyguard with me.
Uh-oh. Sounds serious.
Okay. Pager.
It was a 19 at first. 19.
All right, well, are we ready?
Yeah, well, you want to wait on Jim, or we have like 5 minutes before his
Oh.
appointment, and I don't have it. What do you want to do?
Right. I don't think he's got anything unusual that.
Okay, go ahead.
In the 1,000 account, the state mandated a 3% raise for probation officers, so that reflects across all the POs for their time of service and their new pay. And then I also put in for a $3,000 raise for the administrative staff. So that's it. I kept everything else the same, the contracted detention cost, and then the Title 9 that says care of juveniles. That's when we have to put kids on electronic monitoring through community corrections. We pay what corrections pays basically, but they don't charge us an overage or anything for that, so they're giving us a pretty good deal. I cut everything else last year. We asked for a vehicle. I understand the situation that we're in financially, so I didn't ask for any additional officers or anything like that mutual this year. So that page is just, on that page, the only things that went up was the state mandated raises. So for that account.
if you went in there.
Oh, there we go. This is the circuit account. The only thing I changed here was from 24 to 25, I moved the reimbursement out of circuit court and into Superior Court. The circuit court budget is always harder to keep on track because the people sentenced to probation in circuit court generally go to prison for a long time and then come out to probation and have a very quick reoffend rate. So we never see a lot of their probation fees because they get out, immediately reoffend and go back to jail, and we never actually get much time to supervise them. So I moved that amount, that 5,000 out of circuit and into Superior. Everything else I kept the same from year to year.
Okay, then if you want to go to Superior, that's on page 29.
In here, I kept everything the same. I feel like we're at a pretty good number as far as everything. We're keeping ourselves within budget. We try to look for deals if we can on supplies and things that we need day to day. The only change should be, the change in the reimbursement. I put that 5,000 into that line instead of circuit because I felt I wanted to keep that circuit budget in the black as much as I can because we don't draw in as much there.
Which was that?
That's line number 30901. About halfway down the page.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you put the 5,000 in
Yeah.
there.
Instead of pulling it out of circuit, I pulled it out of Superior. Should be one more for juvenile.
Yeah, juveniles, page 48.
And I think I actually lowered this one from 2,000 to 1,500 since we got rid of one of our phone lines. I took some of that money. We still have a technology on that line. It's like for an iPad that we use when we go into the field, but it's less expensive. So I just pulled that 500 and lowered it down to try and keep the bills where they need to be.
It's just a general question, Ryan. How many cases do you folks have per probation officer?
At any
Approximately.
general, yeah. Our officers who supervise are extremely high-risk offenders. A DOC grant requires them to have only high risk, moderate risk. They're averaging usually around 70. Our highest officer is actually me. I have all the pending cases, people coming in and out of prison, people who are in jail waiting to come to us, people who are at community corrections. I have 136. When you do the math, it balances out to about 110 per officer. I think Lisa has 124 right now. Chuck has 120, 121. And then we have one full-time pre-sentence investigator that she writes reports for the courts. She's probably the one who's working the most constantly because she gets, we just had that trial last week. They've already ordered her to write the pre-sentence and it's due in 14 days. And that'll be probably 50 or 60 page report she'll write by the time it's done.
There would be no way she could probably do a caseload.
Yeah, that's why we,
Doing that person's job.
many years ago, they came to that realization when they had, 2 or 3 people writing those PSIs plus supervising 60 or 70 people. You can't keep your head above water. I mean, it's a constant, you have to track them down either in the jail or have them come into the office. You interview them for several hours. You have to do all kinds of background information. You can go back as far as calling Connersville High School and see how they did in school as far as discipline and schooling. All that goes into these reports. So we have somebody, luckily, who's very dedicated to that. And she writes right around 100 reports a year for the board. So that's, in my opinion, money well spent.
Doesn't sound like many reports,
But they are extremely time consuming. If you know how to do one and you have all the information, you will spend at least 4.5 hours doing it. Straight, like actually typing.
Is the juveniles still going up for high?
Yes. Now I know Lisa was just here on Tuesday. Since Tuesday, we had to detain another juvenile who committed intimidation with a deadly weapon and battery. He just had his detention hearing today. But I did learn our neighbors to the south, Dearborn County has a juvenile detention center. They haven't had too terribly long, who actually agreed to take him for us, and they are only $150 a day instead of $195. So I'm trying to weasel in good with them, see if we can't continue to use them as much as possible, because we've got 3 or 4 kids detained. $45 a day adds up. I mean, we're spending, with the kids we have in right now, it's close to $6,000 a week in detention fees. And that's just something that, you know, we don't have a whole lot of control over. We can't get them out until their cases work their way through the court system. And we have to find a safe way to release them, you know, some sort of either a facility that's going to treat them for mental health or their behaviors, or some kind of resolution to their case that's, you know, safe for the community. Right now, all the ones we have locked up were either stealing cars and had guns, or I found a gun in a kid's room a couple of weeks ago, found out myself, or they've threatened people with knives. Like, it's our top offenders. We don't, you know, you earn it if you get detained here. Like, we go out of our way to try to not detain kids, and that's what we're mandated to do. That's what the state really wants. It's called JDAI, the Juvenile Detention Alternative Initiative, and they really pushed that, what, about 10, 12 years ago when that started coming around, because they don't want kids locked up. It kind of showed, it's been shown to make them worse. You know, you lock them up around kids that have had worse lives than them from any different community, and they learn new things, and they come back to you with all new skills, negative skills. So it's my biggest concern all the time, I feel like, with our department, is trying to keep kids out of that detention. One, just the cost. I mean, it's astronomical.
Maybe we need to leave the kids alone and arrest the parents.
Well, most of the parents are indigent, and we're also supposed to consider the children. The state is really pushing, I don't know how far away this is into the future. They did away with letting us collect fees on informal adjustments. We used to be able to collect, I think it was $15 a month. The state outlawed that. They said no more. It's climbing up to where we won't be able to collect fees on kids, where they're going to say, oh, all children are indigent just by the nature of being children, and the parents are, you know, they always hem-haw around whether or not they're actually financially responsible because they're taxpayers and yada, yada, yada. And I have a sinking feeling that's what they're moving slowly towards. But we're going to get a new governor soon, so everything can get turned on its head. You never know. And that's one of those things that the judge can theoretically order, but then if they don't pay, there's no debtors prison in Indiana where we can do something to them for that. It's just like adult probation fees, you know, it just becomes a judgment against you, and you've never worked a day in 45 years. Pull it out of the stone.
It's a conundrum, that's for sure.
It really is.
Okay, anybody else have any more questions or discussion? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See ya. Thank you, Lisa.
Bye. See ya.
Dave Rickman, Franklin, Animal Shelter. Stop it. Please stop it.
You want to ask a question if you read it?
Oh, no, Don,
Does Dave only have the one page?
all three.
Just put up $5,000 to the animal shelter.
What?
They have another building now.
Hmm?
They have another building now. They have two.
Well, I think it should be more efficient.
Anyway, if you read the policy, he said the policy being two, all two numbers.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody, no policy gives two. I don't know why I say policy, I did that. Coon tastes like pork.
Does it?
Tastes like what? You said coon tastes like what? Did?
He's not asking for any postage this year. This is the most exciting day of my life so far.
Why you can't get it?
He's sick. Mike was coming in, and Mike came in and out on Zoom this morning. A little bit. Mike.
I was getting,
You know, you came on in my back there.
Oh, yeah?
He came on a little bit, but he wasn't here the whole time.
Has he got a problem? Was he sick or you know,
I don't know, I haven't talked to him.
pissed off about something?
they put me in rehab 2 weeks ago. They had football and they
I don't know, I haven't talked to him.
I am.
I guess I got scarred on the shoulder, so I'm gonna do it next week.
He said that really need to come in there and she said she called Mike, see an event on it or somebody. Why he said, well, they didn't have nitro, why should I do that?
What happened is they were on gets in a jar. I think it was
She had to check your
He
pockets.
works for the day.
That's her job.
Should be.
Ralph told me he called Ruby and the holler screaming each other. I said, he killed her. I said, no, he didn't. She could have pulled up at any time. He just didn't do that.
All those
That's
shots.
too bad.
4 people in car.
I forgive him. I wasn't being.
What are you gonna do?
Respected him.
I mean, how you do that?
I'm just showing respect. You know?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Tell me, big thing.
I don't know.
Don't be
If you're gonna live here, you gotta pay the bills.
He's had some things.
Can't afford taxes for some business, I guess, I don't know.
We pay taxes there too, big
Well,
boy. But no, I mean, our income in this county is less than anything else.
Maybe didn't come.
Because all these big businesses, they want you to pay the big business man tax.
Kinda goes with the territory.
It does, it does.
yeah.
I don't know if he's appreciating.
So these will start next year, July 1st.
They think all businesses
Oh, I
are just
did.
killing it. They
Then,
think all businesses are just killing it.
when I was
They have costs.
city council,
No, January 1st. There were 2 of them that were effective July 1st of this year.
Going down.
4. Everyone else goes into effect January.
The new law went here July 1st of this year.
oh yeah, we'll get one
Okay,
thing
but
good.
the salaries don't go
Might
into
take
I'm
your
not sure.
part and see it back.
Mhm.
No,
And-
just give the person credit.
At that time, I had,
Linda was.
No, I wouldn't
Now,
spend.
I paid for it, but my mom,
She just spent
you know,
$9,000.
kids,
She's probably
didn't want to.
No, totally.
And,
It's okay, I was just.
No, I surely kept it.
Yeah, like I said, I can make a copy.
but
Nah,
I
it's
made
just,
enough noise about it.
it's,
So,
Right,
Put your hand up for something.
And so,
Come back from Muncie.
the next,
I mean, it needs,
I had like a little town
right,
dog,
right.
yeah, because like,
and I had a
I
little
didn't
dog,
like it, but
what's the buying power of the dollar keeps dropping because of credit.
and that guy came to
All
me
the credit.
and said, I just want to.
A dog when I was
oh, David,
4.
He told me that he didn't like it. He said you get it done.
Worth $400 still.
Yeah, I'm never gonna run it.
Dollar buys 3 cents of what it would buy when the Federal Reserve was.
And I was just, and I
That
barely knew
dollar
it.
today will buy 3 cents worth of that.
But when I was campaigning, that's what he said.
What I watch right now is just your mind still
And, I didn't think I was gonna cross the line.
down.
Just to do that.
He said, Scott up here, the highway department paid
It was
for
a bunch of naked shorts.
sign down.
China.
That sign's important because
Like
the
if you
snow's
had
just
just eating one, it's 3 lunches, it's gonna be 10.
But they had a bunch of naked shorts
that
out.
sign up.
Because I heard it from the shopper too. She just
They
wanted
always thank me. And I said, I need it too, because I live out there. If you don't see that sign, you can run off
That's what made the
Yeah.
price go.
And
Because he's eligible for
and
comp.
it's 6 months to conservation, it's been
Still when you buy,
I've seen them.
He's getting
I
along.
usually
Now, I
what I
saw
do
the
is I
first
buy
time
it
for
for
his house here a couple of months ago, I called Sherry.
1 ounce
Getting
rounds.
his daughter.
So if he starts paying
Bobby
overtime, I
fell
don't
in
know
the
that
street
you
himself.
do.
One came and picked him up and said, what name, major road.
I mean, he might,
Oh, pretty much.
there's all counterfeit.
He's not steady on his
just
feet.
consider this what he needs to do.
Betty's a sweetheart.
But he needs, I mean,
Just not steady on his feet.
Yeah.
Well, I know he had that bad stroke. I wasn't sure where.
He didn't take his blood pressure
I mean, even his
medication. Stopped taking it.
overtime,
He's
20 hours.
bullheaded, Dick's bullheaded.
Would that be per week?
You know when
20
Barb
hours
was dying, they
overtime
brought
per
us.
week?
Per
Pretty
pay.
reputable.
Per pay?
So like the 10
Was
one
now
would
it's
just
just
be
a
not
sweet
taking
oven.
much.
I took him down and realized she's made.
But we have some department heads that are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They just make
some
it.
that's 50 hours.
During the
You live out there?
Yeah, I live, they
But then
live
we have some
down
who
there
don't
and I
like
live
it.
here, so.
Oh.
And
But
during the
then they'll
blizzard,
talk like.
I called them, I
Is
said,
it
I
half
can't
or
get
alternate
in.
if they're working at
I can't get it either.
He's like, I can't say either, Bob.
You know,
I said, well, if you ever see Riverside, you go, well, yeah. He said, okay.
People know that.
Going back to a gold base currency.
But,
The dollar bill we work with.
So, yeah.
you don't have to run it through stuff, you
$23,000.
respect.
It's gonna
I
lay
don't know what you've been through and what's been
Does
through.
it matter?
Well, that's part of the problem in this country today. We don't do a lot, we don't do very much lists. We do a lot of yelling.
That's why I'm telling, I could tell Trump, I said.
Oh, central banks are buying gold.
Off of the policies, the immigration.
And I'll
Information,
talk
all
about
that.
it, Jim.
That's what you need to be hitting on, not here. All the things they've done.
Now, Max Sherk,
I think it'd be a
Change,
change, change.
with all people names and just go after their policies.
It can't be a big devalue.
can I write
Man
it?
call don't get you anyplace.
It's not the federal government.
I mean,
There's been no person.
you have to go with the wrong thing.
Honestly, the mayor on those people, so I couldn't get anybody behind me. That's all, those big ones that have an office.
BlackRock,
I couldn't get the
Little
filters
Black
behind me. I
Rock.
said, so in your subdivisions,
Right
they
there.
have all the way.
not just them, but the
And I
group.
got pushed out a mile.
There's
from the
9
city,
families.
a half mile for subdivisions.
Yeah, I would want.
And I stood up to the mayor,
Be a billionaire.
but yet he and I are still friends. I mean, I went to a meeting, he brought me a chair, said, thank you, man, I appreciate you.
I just want enough money to.
And I have fought
Do
him.
you know how long it take you to kill $1 trillion
Fought
in
on
1
those
second?
things. And I said, you're trying to tax the whole
Count
city.
$8 trillion at $1 a second.
You get mad at me.
Oh, what, that's.
32,000
And he admitted it, he said, in case my bond issue,
That's how many
made enough
seconds?
money, I can tax the rest. I said, you're
Years it
taxing
takes to
this
get one
rest of the
trillion.
city because you
You know
failed
how
up here.
Take a penny and double it each
Bob, I said,
time.
well,
yeah.
it's
You know how many times
exactly
it
what
takes
you're
to do
doing.
that?
Not very long.
You're taking in the whole damn city so you can collect taxes. You have to pay for your bond you shouldn't have had in the first place.
2 pennies, 4 pennies, 8 pennies, 6 pennies.
I ain't stupid. I may be a redneck, but I ain't stupid.
When you get,
Hey, there he is.
Hey,
when you get up into the dollars, it goes quick.
you're in the hot seat.
300, 600, you know what?
Be too bad.
I'm gonna see it time, I don't want that.
You're on page 2.
I know. Oh,
I'm always a little nervous about that.
I don't know because I've never had it.
Well, whatever the difference is this year from last year, you just gotta write us a check, okay? Don't be nervous.
Well, if I get your wallet, I'll do that, okay?
Okay, so what,
All right.
Oh, she said,
Who's-
you want to explain some of it, that what you're doing?
Well, we got the other building running now,
Is it
so
done?
we're gonna, I don't know what the electric or gas gonna be on
She
that,
won't
so
be there at Alexa.
that's why I raised that utilities up.
Yeah, I
They'll take her out, put the
You
shell
know,
in.
because I'm not sure how it's gonna run. You know, sometimes on supplies and stuff, they have one up too. So, you know, I gotta raise that up some.
Are you talking like the cat and dog food, or,
No, our regular supplies, other supply stuff. That's why I raised up up on that there. And veterinarians charges, it's always gonna go up every year, it seems like there's higher and higher on that.
Now that you have more animals, opening that other one too.
Yeah. And the vehicle insurance, I called them, that's why I was running for that. You guys have any questions on anything?
What's the other services?
That's our trash pickup or our carcass pickup. That's can include our truck oil changes, stuff like that. That'll be on the other
Can you
services.
go down just a little bit, guys? Expecting higher utility costs with the new building?
Well, it's gonna be, that's what I'm, cause I don't know for sure what's gonna run.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the gas and oil, gas and electric there,
Yeah,
in
no, I
this very
understand.
place, so it is gonna go up.
Really expanded.
Yeah. it's gonna-
Yeah.
So,
You're on pace to do like 13.4 right now. As things stand, but I'm sure that'll go up when you have a full year.
mhm.
When your truck repairs doubled, are you having stuff that you're,
Truck repair, what's the one?
it went from 15 to 3,000, but you've only used 649.
That one, I might have made, it probably would be lowered some. I probably made a mistake on that one. A little bit.
I didn't know if something was wrong with your trucks or vehicles or something.
I just try to keep, minor stuff up on them, plus we split the bills up, split the bill up all the time now. We pay for parts and pay for the labor and stuff, so I probably marked that down wrong, so it's nothing.
Who do you split it with?
No, like if you get our bills and they get the supplies, like your parts and stuff like that, then the labor and shop stuff is different line item. That's what I'm saying there.
How many vehicles you got?
I got 3 trucks, one with the flatbed that we put on and get the dead deers off the road. Then we got another truck that's the Dakota. It's not in use right now because it takes too much money to fix it. We need to get it out, put it in the auction probably. Then the red Durango that the city does have, it's still up there too. That's like a backup thing. The city pays for that I know of, insurance and all that. Don't they, Jane, still? Okay.
So what's wrong with the Dakota?
Needs freeze-out plugs, needs struts and tires on it. It's gonna cost a little bit, because you gotta pull the whole engine or training out of it and replace them all. Freeze-out, that's bad on them. Because we've been doing some rubber ones in there, but you got a couple of them in the back of them that you gotta pull the transmission and the transfer case out of them, or just pull the motor out, and that's more than what that little truck was worth.
What year is it, Dave?
That's a 2000. 2000.
They were making cars back then?
Somewhere.
Do you need it?
The Dodge Dakota? No. No, it's been parked in the barn for a couple of years now, I think.
So you basically got 2 vehicles, you,
2 vehicles and a flatbed, that's it.
that's not $3,000, not
For repairs.
too. No. Take long.
You didn't put down there for raise. You want a raise? Is that it?
If you would like to give me one, I'll take it. You know. But like I said, I always like to try to get my budget up higher too, you know, try to make sure that we, on our, especially on our veterinarians, you know, I try to do a little bit more on time. And we have been moving quite a bit of animals out.
Anyway, I think you do a pretty good job up there on keeping costs down. I don't think anybody complained against you.
But, you know, we'll know a little bit more next year about the new building and see how what that's cost.
What it's gonna cost, it's gonna cost.
Yeah, so,
It's hard to project it when you've never used it.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like whenever they was working in
Is
the
that the
building,
3,000 to repair and maintenance?
our electric bill went way up, you know.
20285.
I mean, inflation,
Yeah.
so.
No, I said, don't do that.
No, I do when you.
No.
I'm just saying, you just make it right. Good guy.
Are there any more comments or questions? You lived through it, Dave.
I'm getting better at it.
Without an oxygen tank.
Hey, if you seen me the first year I came in here, you can ask King, I was nervous wreck. Only time I get nervous whenever King gets on to me, then I.
Uh-oh.
I know what you're talking about, Dave, I don't get on to anybody.
I mean, whenever I found out about
Drew some laughs.
If you got the altar, if you get the altar on you, that's means you're in trouble.
I just try to keep everybody compliant with the state codes, that's all. It's a tough job.
But
I'm just having fun.
That's right.
I'm just having fun with you.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you picked up skunks.
Oh, God. Yeah, we picked up the dead ones.
I don't want none of dead ones under my porch.
Oh, Lord. I'm trying to stay away from them.
Yeah, I do. I feed the cats in a hurry and get out of there. I don't take any chances.
If you put a trap out and you try to catch it, put a bag around it. And
Do
then
what?
You put a bag, or a trash bag, or a blanket around it. Then after you trap it, you can pick it up and move it anywhere you want.
That skunk's in that thing. I ain't picking it up.
But that's
Oh, you, okay?
That's
heard
that's
that.
where you move them.
I heard that, and then they
Yeah.
won't spray if they're covered. That's what I heard, I don't know.
You heard-
I ain't
you don't
tried
know
it.
that for a
I ain't-
Hey, I've done about 4 times already.
Have you?
Knock on a little bit of wood, I had not got sprayed.
Oh, Lord. It only takes one time.
Well, if I do, I'll go see Shane.
I wouldn't have any friends in at all, you know.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dave.
Thanks for being a good sport, Jim.
This time, maybe not next time.
Well, I try to work with everything. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, the 220, it says Amanda Stevens going to present
What page is she on?
320
Page 20?
with the cemetery, so tourism's not coming.
No, she wasn't gonna be able to make it.
Okay, so we have until
Superior
240.
240.
Yeah,
He's coming at 240.
Yeah, right
it'd
there,
be
big boy.
Judge Freed.
What is
Oh,
that?
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
Look like skunk to me.
Who's calling that skunk?
That's Superior Court.
Are we recessing?
Yes, we'll recess. Well, I mean, we don't have anybody till 2:40. You want to recess till 2:30?
I'll do it.
Page 25.
Then that, okay.
they agree to go.
Yeah. Okay, Judge Freed, you're on.
Yeah. Well, this is a familiar request form. It's what I've been doing now since the mandamus action. Nothing really changed. I mean, I just was in here for an extra appropriation, of course, on transcripts and translators, or interpreters. They don't like to be called translators, by the way. It's a bad form, I found out. They're interpreters, not translators. So, you know, as always, more pointed, I guess, right now, because I just happen to have one who's put in her notice, and I told you that at the last meeting with the additional appropriation. Ms. Rader is leaving us, and no one's yet applied. I spoke to the dean at IU East with that strategy I espoused at the last meeting, where basically I'm down to just trying to get someone to do it almost like an internship. Apparently as a real job, as a regular job, nobody wants it, nobody applied. So I'm still working on that. That's Dr. Lee. I spoke to him yesterday, and he said he's going to work on it. He also happens to be the career placement advisor as well, aside from being the dean of the department. So I'm hoping that works out. Otherwise,
When's she leaving?
well, a week from Friday is her last day.
Judge mental health evaluations. So, looks like you're on pace to do about 11,000 and change this year, and which is close to what you did in 2022. 2023, there was a heavy increase. I mean, I'm sure that's hard to.
Yeah. Well, we're keying
To
that
try
to,
to-
yeah, the worst recent years.
Yeah, right, right.
But as always, I'm flexible on that. I know you guys have to make it work. At the end, ultimately, the number you submit. As I always say, maybe you get lucky. As you see from past years, it's not steady.
Right, right.
You might get lucky
Yeah.
in 25. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it doubled in 2022, and then,
Yeah.
like I said, you're on pace to do with 2022. 2023 was, a whole other ballgame compared to the other
Yeah.
4 years.
There's a lot more of them being
So-
filed, I can tell you. The pace of filing defense attorneys, requesting the evaluation
Sure.
is up.
Sure.
The trend line, has got a lot of variability in it, but the smoothing trend line is certainly in up direction.
Mental health is a big issue,
Oh, it's huge.
huge.
But we've got another one. We had the attempted murder trial last week, and that's actually a circuit court case, so that'll actually come out of Judge Brandstetter's budget, nominally speaking, but 6 1/2 dozen another. The same individual has an F3 trial coming up next month, and then an F5 as well, and they both have the mental health too. And you can't just take judicial notice of the testimony given by psychiatric people from the murder trial. They have to come again and testify again in each of those 2 subsequent trials, so a lot. So you're looking at $12,000–15,000 a pop on those next 2, just on that same defendant, different case. So I have no idea what negotiations are post conviction last week, if that changes the mental model of defense strategy, or
And this next trial's gonna be in your court?
yeah, I've got them all.
Yeah.
They're all circuit court cases, but I've got them all. No conflicts from
Yeah.
Judge Branstetter. And then, Judge Branstetter has the other murder, whether it was the 3 murders. He's got that one coming up soon too. And then aside from these infamous crimes, just mental health evaluations for lesser offenses. There's no limit on it. You can get charged with a little bitty C misdemeanor, they can still file for a mental evaluation. So it doesn't have to be, you know, an infamous level act to precipitate this type of cost. That's the heck of it. And it doesn't cost less either. You know,
Doesn't matter.
they do the evaluation on a C misdemeanor, they do the evaluation on a murder, it's still, they still gotta come down here, they go to the jail, they talk to them, they come to testify, blah, blah, blah. It's basically the same cost, whether it's a small crime or a big crime, as far as the psychiatrists are.
Where do they come from?
All over, you know, there's more of them coming on because the demand is so high.
Yeah,
This last trial, we had one from Indianapolis and one from Johnson County and one from Jeffersonville. But they're here and there. Mostly they're concentrated around the city of Indianapolis, mostly. Suburban areas. They're, we don't have a lot of, well, there's not enough business in general in these small towns to have your own standalone psychiatric practice. You have to get to a certain size before that really becomes viable. You don't see your storefront mental health places for towns this size, of course, obviously. Although it's getting to be such a problem around here, that may become economically feasible at some point in the near future if we keep going the way we're going. That might be a good business for somebody
Yeah.
to do.
it's unbelievable, unbelievable
Yeah, it's off the charts.
for it to be in Connersville the way it is.
Yeah, it's really bad. Well, it's the methamphetamine use
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
is
and that psychosis and all that, yeah.
DSM-5, I mean, talks about long-term methamphetamine use eventually, depending on how hard you use it and how long you use it, but eventually it will cause psychosis. It's just a given. Do you quit soon enough or not is the only issue. If you keep doing it and somehow miraculously survive, you will go crazy eventually.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Well, let's address the big bully in the room. You're wanting 2 full-time, deputy court reporters at $37,000 each,
Yes, sir.
and a part-time at $32,032.
That's right.
Okay.
Same as last time, I didn't put in any adjustment for inflation, and that's what I asked 3 years ago, and we've got a whole lot of inflation since then, but I resisted the urge to add that in, so really those,
Yeah, in 2023, you spent $26,000 for one.
sometimes we don't spend the
Or
whole
bailiff
amount.
and a court reporter, 26,000, almost 27 for the bailiff.
Sometimes we don't spend the whole amount because, like right now, as far as I'm concerned, you know, the line item for the part-time position, this year's budget line will be short. Unless I pull a miracle off and get somebody to start a week from Monday, and there's no break in service between she who is quitting and she who is starting, then there'll be, you guys will hit it a week or two, or how long it takes me to get somebody hired. You know, it's payroll you're not putting out.
You've not had a court reporter this year?
No, I haven't booked for it. It's the part-time position that's one that's leaving just now. And she's got another, 8 days? 8 days plus an hour and 15 minutes. She's great too. Really better than we deserve for what we pay her. But she told me when she hired in, she was only going to want to work until she graduated. I mean, she didn't try to hide anything from me. I accepted that and I take what I could get. So she worked actually longer than she said she was going to. So I was only supposed to have her about 9 months, and then she changed her major. And had to back up and take some more classes. It took her a little longer to get out, and so she stayed longer. So that was lucky for me, or I would have lost her 7 or 8 months ago.
The full-time judge on the court reporters, how's that compared to surrounding superior courts, do you know?
I don't have the current information. You can certainly look for somewhat dated information from the mandamus action. That was all in there. Those comparators were all in those pleadings from 3 years ago.
Okay.
But I don't have the up-to-date information. I can get it.
Well, I know we're across the board lower than some counties around us for obvious reasons, but, you know, it's information that we probably could use.
Yeah, it's much lower. I just got off, I'm on the State Court Administration's committee for court staff, statewide committee on court staff issues. And in fact, just by happenstance, from noon to 1, I was on a Zoom meeting for that committee. This was discussed. There are other counties that are also having trouble with this. Everyone from the court side seems to be of one mind that the state legislature should deal with this since it's a state court. Why is the county involved at all?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a state court. Why the state should take responsibility for their own courts. I've said that many times, and it's very apparent. I still believe it, and I survey 10 or 15 members on this committee, including other judges, court administrators, and everyone agrees. No one knows why the system even got started to begin with.
The state pays the prosecutor, don't they?
Yes, they pay the prosecutor, yeah.
Mhm.
Chief deputy, prosecutor as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not the courts?
Right, they're state courts. They're state, they're
Don't make sense, does it?
Not kind of, sort of, or maybe. They are state courts. The state owns them. State constitution forms circuit court. State legislature forms superior court. They own them. I work for them. I am a state employee. I am not a county employee. You shouldn't be dealing with this at all.
I agree with you. I agree.
But you are, and I still have to get it done.
I understand.
I've expressed this directly to the Chief Justice of this state, to the Executive Director of State Court Administration, Mr. Fortner, and all the powers that be up there. It seems that the state legislature is the only one that thinks this is a good system. You know, the kind where they don't have to do anything and you have to do everything. They think that's a pretty good setup.
Well, yet they're saying we've got such a surplus, they can do away with the income
Right,
tax.
exactly.
Interesting.
It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. So, I have compassion for your situation. I really do. But
I
just hope you
understand.
have some for mine too. I mean, I have to get, first step is to get somebody to even apply for these jobs when they come up. And any of these other people that work for me could quit at any time.
What's the criteria? Do you train them or just?
Yeah, I try to. And this committee I'm on was talking about that today too. That it creates a real training problem when you have high turnover. The number one way to improve training is don't have such high turnover. You don't need as much training. You learn the basics, of course, up front, but you learn on the job and you build up just like any other job. You learn, you get better as you go on. You know? So you're constantly in a starting from scratch training mode. I do what I can do. The girls are much better at the software than I am, and so as far as the intricacies of the software, very, very complex. Now I hear today for the first time, they finally decided that the Odyssey e-filing software we have stinks, a fact well known to judges around the state for a long time. I'm glad we went to e-file because the benefits outweigh the negatives. It was a good thing in general, but the system we have just is kind of clunky and junky. And I mean, they were talking about it takes 56 mouse clicks to put on a protective order. You have to fish through screens and screens and screens. Nothing's integrated. Too many unrelated systems, and you have to go to a different software and another different software and another different software. And something that should take 30 seconds takes, 10 minutes. That kind of thing, And, so they're about fed up there at State Court Administration with the Odyssey program. And I think they're, well, I know they just flat said, they're looking at a whole new system, different company, different software, same functionality, but just better and smoother. So if better and smoother is the result, that'll be helpful. If it's
That'll
more
be
intuitive, more intuitive, like more integrated, creates less complex data entry, and it's more idiot proof, you know, where, you know, it's all in one integrated software package where you don't have to trust a brand new employee to remember to go to 4 different unrelated server-driven software packages online to basically enter the same data so that everybody that should know does know. That's the way it is now. That would be great.
You're asking a $15,000 raise for your chief court reporter bailiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just get up to where everybody else, she's senior. She's, you know, the only one with tenure track. She's worked for the court twice. She quit for a while, a year and a half, somebody could look it up, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years she was gone, and then came back. So if you add her 2 periods together, she's got some significant experience. Mostly, they don't. The student loan forgiveness program for my court reporter, Ms. Cornsway, it's a big deal. Thank God for that. I think she wouldn't be working here now if it weren't for that. But that's basically the only thing that's keeping her on the job, I think. But you understand, it's just 10 years in public service. It's not 10 years in the same job, public service. You get as much as a 30-day break in service, and it still counts as a continuous public service term. So, I mean, she could go to work for DCS or even private charities count. Like she could go to work for the United Way, and that would count, or anything like that. Any government, state, federal, city, county, 401c3 organizations, any of that employment counts toward that 10 years for that forgiveness. So I suspect at this point, either with me or with someone else, she'll stick with that because she wants that cookie. But it doesn't have to be me though. She well knows that.
You have a $1,500 increase on depositions. You get more workload?
Yeah, depositions are an issue. I don't think they're up a whole lot because, you know, $1,500, you're talking about 2 depositions, 2 short depositions, maybe even 3 really short depositions. It's not a lot. It's a lot of money, I understand. In the budget, the way it is around here, $1,500 is a big deal. I get that. But numerically speaking, as far as the number of increases in depositions, it doesn't represent a lot of extra depositions.
It's not a problem. I just wanted to ask. You explain it. No problem.
Yeah. I mean, the variability of 1 or 2 more a year, or 1 or 2 less a year, $1,500 is explained by that little bit of noise in the graph. It's not a lot of difference because they're apparently depending on how long they last.
Okay.
Any questions, comments?
Jury expenses as well. I mean, you know, that's not.
Well, you mean get paid to be on a jury? I wouldn't tore them things
Yeah.
up if I do that.
Well, the state legislature, just along the lines of mandates, by the way, they doubled.
Really?
I told you, yeah, they doubled this now. $80 a day if you actually serve, and $30 a day if you show up for the selection process.
I won't tear up anymore.
Yeah, if you want to make some big money, show up. But, of course, I will remind everyone, I think, of what I think they already know, and we make a formal motion that be considered. There is now, you know, a special lit just for court staff. That was moved for and shut down last year by this body, but I'd like you to reconsider that. It was a very nominal amount. I think it was 0.02%. Is what we would have to do to cover what my ask, which is the same ask that's on here now. But I understand you can't go with that. It has to be recalculated because the base upon which that number was created is now different. So the assessor, you'd have to get the new assessor's numbers, and Jane ran that last year based on the current numbers. But it had to be run again to get it down to the fine hairs if you were gonna consider it. It's very, very nominal. Very, very nominal, you know. And it would mean a lot. I mean, people can't believe it when they find out what this pay is. My peers around the state just can't believe it. They asked me, how do you even get anybody to apply? And I said, well, recently, I said, I'm not. I don't want to open right now. Why do you want? They would just assume no one would even apply.
So the one that needs to apply right now would be taking the person's job that's leaving
Part-time.
part-time, yeah.
28 hours, 12.40 an hour, 28 hours, no benefits, yeah.
28 hours.
Max, yeah. Somebody one thing that actually, like I say, I'm trying. I told you, I got lucky with this college student the last time, the current incumbent of that position. And so I thought, well, maybe that would work again, so I have contacted the appropriate persons. I used to see if that would work out, but he said he's gonna have to, try to help, but he got the same problem I do, because he's gonna tell him what to pay. So he confronts one of these students that I don't know if they're going to do it, but I mean, they can work at the Wendy's across from the front gate of the campus and make $15 an hour. So. But they get some job experience out of working for them. So I'm hoping some kid has the foresight to understand that $2 or $3 an hour versus working at Wendy's on the edge of campus, it's worth it for building a resume and learning something.
Well, the experience
The
too.
experience, and somebody that maybe is thinking about going to law school, that's a criminal justice major undergrad or a political science major, will certainly be valuable, and he agreed. We spoke about that, the dean and I. So I'm hoping that he can run into some kid up there that's atypically foresighted for a 19 or 20-year-old person.
Yeah.
Sees the long term value of that experience. Maybe hope.
McDonald's was never meant for full-time employment.
No. Well, this isn't either for a college graduate. That's the
Right.
problem. It is meant for someone like that. Around the state, almost everybody, staff has it. And they stay for a career too. They're career-oriented people. When you go into other courthouses, it's all these mostly middle-aged people. They've been there 10, 15, 20, 25 years.
For years.
Amy Ressinger is the only person that ever, in the history of the court, retired on the job. So it's,
Okay.
but for that one exception, it is affirmatively not a career-oriented job, apparently. As judged by the, I don't know how many total people have worked there since '73, a lot. Probably 150 applicants or something, a lot.
Okay.
Anything else of you?
No, she's crossing you off, Judge.
I figured this.
Everyone gets crossed off. Don't feel bad about
That
it.
is not true.
That's not true. That's not true. Okay.
And it's not an all or nothing proposition.
Pardon
It's
me?
not an all or nothing proposition, because I don't need to tell you. Any little bit, you can get me up to
We'll take a
that
look
much
at
more
everything.
competitive, a buck.
Absolutely.
$50, $2, anything, at least it's not so laughing. I can compete with fast food at least. I hate to present a job that doesn't pay as well as fast food. Probably not.
We'll try to get it all worked in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge Freed.
Thank you.
Is Michael coming down?
Michael,
Oh, yeah, he is.
glad to see you.
Yo.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Do we have anybody in there? Because I can't see the table.
Yes, Michael King is here.
Okay. Apologize, guys.
What page is he on?
You have it in the second half of the book.
What page?
Cumulative cap. Page 42. Page 42, Mike. Is it 41?
No, 42, I've got.
42. Yeah, 42.
All the pages.
Thank you for coming, Michael.
Yep. So what questions do you have for me?
Well, we'll let you explain your budget.
Let's see.
I requested a $10,000 raise from a total of $58,500 for me, including my $2,000 stipend for assistant supervisor from the $48,500 that I'm getting now. I've been here 10 years. I'm working often 100 or plus hours every 2 weeks. I'm on call 24/7. Most places when you're on call, you're only on call for like a week or two, and then it shifts off to somebody else, and then they're on call for a week or two, and it shifts back. I very seldom get to take all my vacation or all my days off. Most weekends I'm getting one day off, if not no days off, with people calling the problem at the jail or corrections or somewhere.
For me.
Or stuff like the CrowdStrike thing for 911 where I got called at 12:30 at night, an hour after I got to sleep. I had to drive over here. So, there's one thing that I requested. I didn't raise the part-time pay at all. I left it at what it was. So we just hired Jared, who's been here about 6 weeks now, trying to see if he'll work out after Mike passed away. So, and then going down the budget, I did had the part-time courthouse a little bit, so that if he did work out and he stayed here past 6 months, I might be able to give him a little bit of a raise, because IT workers are paid a little bit, quite a bit better than $15 an hour generally if they work out. So it has an incentive for him to stay. But we'll see how that goes. Basically, be determined by his performance, but it will be also determined whether or not the commissioners approve it. And then going down to IT supplies, $4,000. That's the 20271 line. That is miscellaneous ephemera like cables, AA batteries, miscellaneous little things like that are needed that don't really fit in any category that DLGF did not want to mark as computers or did not want to mark as equipment. So that's why we have that category there. So there's quite a bit of little stuff that gets broken as far as the printer cables and USB cables over the course of a year. Then going down to travel and training, I didn't change that. $500 seems to have been, I skipped the other service and charges. That's the contractual services, the 30200, that's our email and web hosting. We're currently running 155 emails on Microsoft Server. Costs us about $9 and change per email between the email itself, the backup, and the archiving, so that we can get all of our archiving done the way we're supposed to, so we can look stuff up when we have to. Then going down to travel and training, I didn't change that. The $500 seems to be enough generally. Usually I don't fill in mileage from when I'm driving from here to the park and here to Spot Highway, just because it's a hassle to fill out every time I go or out of the building. And I have never been able to charge from when I have to make special trips from Rushville, like for the CrowdStrike thing in the middle of the night. So I don't pay any mileage for that. I'm paying my own gas for that, my own maintenance of my car. But there are training programs online that come up throughout the year. Some webinars cost money, not very many of them, but there are some training classes that cost money to enroll in those, and they are helpful sometimes to be able to sign up for a Cisco class that's going to cost $80 to go through, or some other company, and that's where I would pull that from. Dues and subscriptions is $18,000. Is what I requested, which is the 30910 line item. That is for basically software, either cloud software or on computer software. More and more software is pretty much yearly they charge for you. Very seldom are we able to get perpetual licenses for most things anymore. When I can, I do get a perpetual license for something, but for the big boys, they're very reluctant to do it anymore. Office is a good example. Then there's IT other services. That's basically like when I have to contract out to have wired installed or something that's beyond my skill level. Because as I like to just describe, I'm kind of the country doctor IT person. I'm not the master of networking, I'm not the master of programming or any of that kind of stuff. I'm okay at a lot of different skills, but I'm not the master of any one field. I don't have a doctorate in anything. And that's kind of sometimes it's just a matter of time. It's easier just to contract out to Hillfire or CEI or somebody to run 6 runs of cable when you've got 5 things already on your plate. And then going down, IT office equipment, $45,000 is what I had requested. It's 40408. That would be things like printers, monitors. We have to replace the sound equipment in the courtrooms because it is, I want to say they put it in 2004 or 2014 whenever they built the courtroom, redid the courts when they built all that. So the amplifiers, the audio systems, those are all each. And then the IT equipment, $50,000 is, we need to replace all the switches here in the building. They're past end of life. We need to replace security cameras. That one may not be needed. Wade tried to get a grant for that, but we're kind of in a holding pattern waiting to find out where the answer is on that, whether or not we'll get it. You know how that goes. So we'll find out whether or not we get the grant. If we get the grant, then we don't have to worry about the cameras. They'll take care of themselves. But then, and then I had $10,000 for computers, or $14,000 for computers. These computers, 3 years ago, I could get a decent tower with a 3 or 4 year warranty from Dell or HP for about $700. Now that exact same tower is $960. And that's when I got a quote from Dell for ordering 25 of them at a time because the city and utilities need to get some towers. So the machines are more expensive. I'm not sure if it's because of demand. I'm not sure if it's because of the post-COVID shift in how they're pricing things. I honestly don't know. But just regular office machines, not the ones that have gaming capability or anything else, are higher. So I've kind of been picking piecemeal and seeing what I've been trying to find stuff on Amazon and seeing if I can find things that are cheaper than the Dells and everything that have a better warranty. And Dell has a 3-year warranty that's next business day, whereas the stuff on Amazon, if I get that, it's a 1-year warranty, but it may be $300 cheaper, so I can get more computers. So it's kind of like which answer is the better one.
Michael, on your wages, does the city pay part of them or? how
Yes, they pay half my salary.
Half this year? Okay.
So half of the 49.5 they pay?
Half the 48.5, yeah.
Okay.
Just like county pays half of Joe Lisa's salary.
How much does IT person make? Any other place? I know you're underpaid. I'll stand up for you on that.
I want to say Rushville's makes close to 80,000. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I think it's somewhere close to that.
Well, my boy works in Indianapolis, but he writes some programs and he gets like,
And Indianapolis is also a different market. I mean, that's
he gets
when
like
you're a small town.
he's 125.
Yeah. When you start talking the big companies in Indianapolis as IT manager, you're talking managing much bigger systems. They could $1 million up there, so it's kind of a different scale.
Right.
So,
Are you getting put some new cameras in the jail and the control room?
yes.
How many you put in?
We're waiting for the specs from Stanley once they get started putting their stuff in. So once they start upgrading the stuff that's there, so we don't get something that's incompatible. But once they give me some information, we'll probably start swapping them out in groups of 2 or 3. Because ultimately, all the cameras in the jail need to be swapped out. And most of them are quite old.
Some of them don't cover all the areas either.
Some of it, it's just a bad where they're pointed at. Some of them, the angle, they're like, I think 90-degree cameras instead of 120. So it's just a matter of different lenses. So some of that's something we can change. But yeah, I don't want to spend $500 on a camera, get it mounted, and then Stanley comes in there to upgrade everything, or Securitas is called now, to upgrade everything for the new system to control both buildings and have them not work together.
Well, there's 2 new items here, for Social Security, Medicare, and retirement, coming to $12,800. Would you explain that?
I would assume Social Security and stuff to go with the pay.
We've not budgeted anything about that in the past, with $138.24.
It's because I had never realized I needed to do it. Jane put it on there, she reminded me it needed to go on there this year.
Account number 40408, IT office equipment. We budgeted 25,000 last time around, and you're on pace to spend about 4,900 right now. What are you looking at? Because you requested 45.
I've got the copier for the auditor that's just being ordered. They're getting us paperwork already. That's
what that is?
7,000.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got the firewalls for the jail and for the police department, or 911. That's another 7,000. So it's just I haven't spent it. I've kind of been holding off.
Yet.
Yeah, kind of waiting to see what breaks before I go all in. Kind of. Sure. I mean, there's 75,000 still in the 407, the IT equipment one, because Spillman hasn't billed us yet for the Spillman side, for the county.
Okay.
Which one is that?
40407 IT equipment.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
But all this equipment here is for county equipment, don't have nothing to do with city equipment.
Just the county.
And so any business you do with the clerk, the auditor, anybody, that comes out of your budget, they don't have any, it's free of charge to that office you're working for.
Yeah. Whereas in the city, it's the other way. They each have to pay for their own computers, and then I just do the work.
Which one's most economically feasible?
I think it makes more sense for me to do it, because then I can look at the computer and go, I can plan ahead and make plans and go from there. Whereas there, sometimes they seem to forget to go, oh yeah, we need to replace that computer next year, and then the computer starts to break, and like, Yeah, we didn't budget for that.
Any more comments or questions from Michael? All right, thank you very much.
Haley, while I'm here, it's the COVID exile for right now.
What did you say?
How long is the COVID exile right now?
I think that it's 5 days still. Is it? I'd have to look. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's
it's
5
5.
days, yeah.
Okay, well, see you next week then.
See you next week.
Are we over?
Pardon me?
Huh?
You miss.
If you want to go recess.
Page 30.
Are we in recess?
Yeah.
done yet.
okay.
then she's just gonna have the cemetery.
Okay,
I mean, in your book.
right, right. Okay.
I have to make things difficult.
No, you're fine.
Well, after the figures we've seen today, you're doing real good.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ready or.
Yes, we're
Okay.
ready.
Yeah, the only thing I have changed for the last couple years, I did change, I took some stuff from one line and added 1,000 to the mowing contract, because we do have a 2-year contract that we usually try to run, and it'll be up this year, and with the cost of everything going up, and I just want to make sure that we budget enough for that. But other than that, that's about the only thing with the cemeteries that really changes. Just a little bit for repairs on some fence, our epoxy and flags that we put out for veterans and that kind of stuff.
Very frugal, looks good.
Did you have to buy a brush cutter? Is that what the $1,000 is
We're
for?
looking to get one because a lot of these are out in the middle of the cornfield and we cannot get into them like we do on some of the other ones on a regular basis. So they do get quite overgrown. Because we can only get out there early spring or really late in the fall to mow them because once they plant, we're pretty much done. We can't go in and, risk wiping out half the crop trying to take our mowers and stuff like that back there.
Right, right.
So
Okay.
some of them do get pretty thick with briar and stuff like that. But we've been looking at one for a while. It's just, we've been kind of trying to avoid spending the money. Because we do have a couple weed eaters with the blades on them that will go through some of the briar. But brush cutter would be a lot quicker and easier.
Questions or comments?
No, pretty explanatory.
You want to do tourism?
Okay, yes. Now, I did not really make this budget, and I will try to explain it the best I can. But what she has here is what we have as of right now. She's planning on, we roughly will probably take in another 18,000. Oh, wait. That's 24. So for 25, she's
We don't
looking
have
at,
tourism.
Oh, okay.
do you guys have a copy of her budget?
We don't.
Oh,
No.
I was gonna say, I just got it this afternoon, so.
The train still going?
Yeah.
And then these are some brochures and things that we have purchased this year.
I don't know.
Well, that draws people from all over.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that works out, because that was my last copy. But she is expecting us to bring in roughly around 24,000. It just kind of, it always varies on what the hotels and campground and things bring in. And then just for general advertising, she's looking at probably 20,000 for 2025. Our expense for our website, office supplies, our subscriptions, because we do have to be, well, we don't have to be, but it is good to be a member of the State Tourism Association, because we can use their attorneys at will and just keep up to date with new laws and things. just grants in general that people would come to us and ask for is around probably about 5,000. And then I'm not gonna, the semi-quincentennial grant, I don't know if she's talked to anybody about that event coming up for Indiana, but they're wanting different events throughout the rest of this year and starting next year until, I want to say June or July. I'm not exactly sure yet, but she's probably wanting to spend 15 to 25,000. But the 15 she's planning on in 2025, and it looks like another 10 in 2026. So it'll be a number of different events that we'll do throughout 25 and 26 leading up to the actual date. But the festival guide that I gave you guys is, we have advertised in it, and then these brochures we try to keep here at the courthouse. And I know they have them at the museum, at the hotel, and different places throughout town. So when people visit, they know more of what Connersville has to offer. Or not Connersville, but Fayette County.
Where are we at in here?
Good question. I was looking through it earlier, and there's several pages that we're on, because this one actually goes by month. So I know that the fair, I want to say, is on page 63. The railroad is in July on page 50. And I'm pretty sure we had a full page ad in here also. And I don't know exactly what page. She kind of called me yesterday and said that she had to have some procedures done and asked if I would fill in for her. So I'm not really too prepared on this one.
Well, it's a very good report.
Is our museum and Thomas the Train and stuff like that in here?
I believe so. It kind of just depends. Like Thomas, that's usually in
You
June.
got the Fayette County Free Fair on page 63, small ad.
Yes.
Yeah.
But different events like that, we've paid for, and it looks like instead of just one big ad for things, they broke it down into months to where when the event is actually taking place.
Where's this information available at?
We do have a website. It is tourconnersville.org, and it does list a lot of the pictures, but if you turn to page 9, that is our full page ad. I was digging too deep. And then, like you've seen, the fair is on page 63, and the railroad is on page 50, so the different events, it just kind of varies on when it'll happen. But all of the events in town, we try to keep up to date on our website, and then it has a lot of pictures from the events on there also.
Okay.
nice ad.
Yes, yes.
Looks good.
She does very good on things. And even the brochures, Donna has done all of these herself. The one for the cemetery, of course, I helped with the mapping and things, but
Okay. Any more questions or anything anybody has, comments? Thank you very much.
thank you guys.
Mr. Mackey. Surveyor. This is 25. 25.
Tell you a quick story about Mr. Mackey. He's on my 76 All-Star team. We went to New Albany, remember Billy? And I don't know who was playing, but this pitcher had a blooper pitch. He struck out Donnie Griffin. I turned to the umpire and said, "He better not throw that to Billy." He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He cleared the light tower in left field. He said, "I've never seen a ball hit so hard in my life."
Okay. Go ahead.
So which budget you want to start on?
The surveyor,
Page 25.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we just got our salaries there on the front. I think everything's pretty much the same as usually is. $100 for postage, $1,500 for travel and expense, for training expenses, $500 for repair of equipment. And that's pretty much about the extent of the surveyor's budget.
Any questions? You haven't spent anything on office equipment? You have $6,000?
Actually, there's a copier ordered right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael ordered one for us and the auditor, because ours is so old. Actually, we got the oldest copier in the county. They weren't even, it's not even under the maintenance agreement, it's too old. So we've got one on order. Yep,
Okay.
I think it was 4,500 in that ballpark.
Okay.
Bill, is that the large format printer?
Oh, is that Mike?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Mike.
I didn't do it.
He's on Zoom.
Is that what? Pardon me.
Is that the large format printer?
Yes, yes,
So we bought one?
we're fixing to. Oh, no, it's not the big one. We still got that one that the assessor actually has, it's in our office. But no, this is the regular copier.
So the large format that does like blueprints or?
No, this isn't that big, it's just, they'll go to ledger size, and that'll be it. Letter, legal, and ledger.
Yep.
But it's gonna be
Have you
color,
ever looked at,
it's gonna be a color printer.
have you looked at leasing options?
I don't know, Michael was doing it all for us.
Office World does leasing, they don't typically buy stuff. Because it gets out of date in 2 to 3 years and then it's, then you're stuck with this printer. And it's more cost effective.
That's last year's budget anyway.
That might be something you could talk to Michael about. I don't know how you guys,
Well, that was budgeted last year.
questions? Comments? We can go on to the corners perpetuation.
Yeah, the first line is just, I get $2 a corner. We got 522 section corners located and perpetuated in the county. Then the contractual services is for, by law, I have to
33.
have a registered surveyor work and do work for corner perpetuation, at least 5% of all the corners every year has to be maintained and monumented. So I always put 20,000 in usually, not that much is spent in there, but I always do that just in case because I get caught up. Previous surveyor didn't do any work for 5 years, so I'm just now getting caught up on all the work that wasn't done then. Then repair of equipment, that's for the GIS equipment. So that's pretty much that, corner perpetuation.
Billy, don't you work with the county highway on bridges and things too?
On what?
On bridges and what have you?
Oh, I do all, I'm in charge of all the county bridges. And everything federal aid and then everything 4 feet to 20 feet. All the highway department takes care of is anything from up to 4 feet.
I know you've had to put some.
Under 4 feet, it's a 4
I know
feet.
you've had to put some things off because state funding was cut.
Well, it always seems like other things pop up, just like I just had to move one into what I was up on 750, just got repaired about a month ago. It was starting to collapse and I had to get it fixed. So I have, a lot of times I'm moving what I have budgeted around. And I've got another one out on Alquina Road that's failing, but I'm gonna wait until crops.
You got one on 450 North too.
I know.
I get phone calls on that one.
That's
Billy.
the one that keeps getting shifted. I'm hoping it's not possible. I don't have it in the budget for next year because I got 2 others, but hopefully there's a possibility I get to it.
Okay.
But I've got one with crops are out and the traffic is done at the lake. We're going to do one
Yeah.
out on the road.
Those semis aren't good on those county roads and bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the next one's transfer book. It's just for the GIS. I mean, all that's in there is that 9900 is for software support for WTH, for our county website for our GIS. I mean, I think they raised it this year to $60. It's been $6,000 for since its inception, probably I'm not sure 20 years. But they raised it to $6,600, which, I mean, you know, for 20 years, you only get a 10% raise in price. I thought that was, you know, pretty reasonable. And the rest of it, I just add a little bit just in case we have something special done or extra help that's not covered under the $6,600. We haven't had it yet, so hopefully that'll.
Get back to page 38, Bill.
Pardon?
I'm just curious, where's Bridge 533?
Oh, that is on Country Club Road, right in front of the golf course. Oh, you're on the next budget?
I was on page 38, Cumulative
Right,
Bridge.
cumulative bridge. We hadn't got there yet.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So 533, that's Country Club Road.
Yeah, it's just a bridge right across Little Williams Creek, right in front of the golf course. I got funding for that this past, actually I got awarded funding in March. So construction won't be till 2030, but I got that, the engineering, you know, they'll be starting doing the preliminary engineering here later this year. We'll start on that.
It won't be till 2030.
It takes 6 years. Time you get approved federal aid and over time construction. Back Bridge 32 engineering, I got funding for that. You can see it right above there, 75,000. I got that in 2020. It's going to be built in 26. That's on 50 North, which is basically 12th Street extended, just west of the golf course, about half a mile, and maybe, well, probably half a mile from Sykes Road, where Sykes Road goes north. Bridge 32 is down there. No, I got funding for that in 20, and it'll be built in 26. So no, it takes 6 years from the day you're awarded funding to the day it's constructed of the year.
And where's Bridge 42?
Pardon me?
42. Where's Bridge 42? It's on page 38.
Oh, those two are 44 and 42 are both on Williams Road down there. 44 is the one
Okay.
I repaired this spring, had some major issues. And 42 is the one just west of there, just past 350, almost at the intersection of 350 and Williams. What I'm gonna do with those, I've done the polymer seal on bridges before to save, to prolong the deck. They both don't have any holes in them yet, but I wanna go ahead and, every other year I try to pick out 2 or 3 bridges. And a company out of southern Indiana, Osgood, is one of the few that actually do that. And those are pretty close together, and what it'll do, it'll extend the life of the deck about 25 years, and then it'll get back to where it is now, plus whatever life is left. So hopefully it'll prolong the deck long enough to, you know, the bridge will have to be replaced and not put $1 million deck on.
Where are those at? Where's those at?
Both of them are on Williams Road. Down, if you go 350 west through Pleasant View, that bridge, when you
Okay,
stop,
yeah.
that's one of them. And
Okay,
then when you go back towards Connersville, it's the last bridge right before you get to Gray Road. Both of those, that's what those are. And then the township structure is just, it's on Williams Road also, it's just west of there. It's been on my list for 2 or 3 years. It's one of those that keep getting pushed back, but I've got to get something done with it. Actually, I've got the cans, the 2 big cans to do that for probably 3 years. And I want to get that done. That's just west of the bridge by a quarter mile. And then the Jackson Township one, that's on Base Road between 340 and 425, just south of Bryland Woods, if you know where Bryland Woods is down there, basically straight south of the triangle. Yeah, that's another one. It's just a small 4-foot can that needs replaced. It's not going to fail really bad. So those are the projects I've got in there for next year. And like I said, if something else comes up, you never know.
any more questions or comments? Anything else you want to say? Do we have we've covered all yours now because we just went through the transfer fleet plat books, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else comments? Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're done today. We're gonna recess until tomorrow at 9.
Yes. We need to make a motion to do that. Since we
It
are,
wouldn't hurt.
okay. If someone would like to make a motion, it is 3:45 to make a motion to resume the budget meetings tomorrow at 9 a.m. Adjourn tonight.
Recess.
Recess. Okay. Pardon me?
I'm ready.
Jim made a motion. Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved.